Okay, this section is M5, Volume 4. This section is called Segment, idiot. Okay, anyway, this segment is called You're Dead. What's next? December 28th, 2009.
One of my favorite Christmas carols is on South Park's Christmas album, Dead, 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 Someday We'll All Be Dead. You can easily Google the lyrics and also hear the song online. However, the question you may have entertained is, what will happen to me, one for whom M5 is written, now that I just dropped dead and am standing here looking at my physical ID? What happens to me when my body dies? That's a very valid question. One thing I've been urging all of you since M5 began is to trust in your higher self. That does not only mean while you're incarnated. You are a vital piece of your higher self, a part of Shim's self, your real self, having experiences and following a path unique to your energy stream. Your higher self requires your experiences to have a complete game experience on simultaneous path Earth. You are not about to be abandoned to the buffeting of lower astrals or con job types whose purpose is to trip up the recently dead Beetlejuice types, for example. For one thing, you will retain all the knowledge experiences you've had on Earth from that incarnation, especially including all the M5 materials that you have read. As stated in M5, there are a huge amount of keys scattered throughout the segments and, depending on the level of the reader, which keys will apply to that incarnation. One set of keys involves what you will need to do upon physical death. You are, at least mentally familiar with Monroe Level 27's library in Park. Having read all 4 volumes of Matrix V, you have this knowledge as part of your departure agenda that will be activated at death. This gives you a distinct advantage over those who have never heard of M5, for a variety of reasons, and find themselves part of the recently deceased, yes, the Beetlejuice Movies Handbook. You will feel the urge to go to either the Level 27 Park and or library. The library is just off the park anyway. Here you will meet others who have read M5 and those willing to assist with your transition. What happens next is pretty much up to you, your desires while here and your final incarnation's activation of the Nexus of Time. I would advise going to the library. Research those burning questions you have but could not get answered while incarnated. Not all questions will be able to be answered even here because, although very dead, you're still in the game. You have to wait for graduation to get all those questions answered. The neat thing is that all your questions, and more, will have quite satisfactory answers. Your higher self's final incarnation has a very different agenda upon death and is only a valid concern if you are a final. The remainder of your higher self's incarnations will be gathering last bits of experience and information relative to their levels. Meeting also dead incarnations of friends is another way to connect before graduation. Armed with your M5 knowledge, you will be able to have some interesting conversations with others. Considering that we are on the simultaneous path, which, as you know, means we are having all of our incarnations at the same time throughout the third density timeline, which is an illusion. There is something new for you that I can now reveal. You will meet other incarnations of your higher self on Focus 27. This is provided that they are not still incarnated and haven't moved on, don't ask. That in itself can pose a tremendous amount of experience note sharing. How about if you discover that you are one of your dominants and you can consciously chat with another of your dominants on 27 while both knowing that they have the same higher self? There's a light side advanced incarnational energy of yours who lived in modern day Japan and is discussing things with a very advanced energy who lived in ancient Greece. The possibilities are endless. It also gives you something very interesting to look forward to. So, do not be concerned about what will happen to you upon exiting your physical body. The only fear of death is generated by that physical body. It's the body's prime fear. The spirit is just the opposite and looks forward to returning to your higher self. The post-graduation gathering will be extremely interesting. Meanwhile, 2010 will bring new challenges to those who hold true to the simultaneous path. The sequentials are rapid. Trust in your higher self. Avatar. On another subject, the Avatar movie that came out on Christmas Day. I've been asked by several M5 readers what I think of the movie. I will not be buying any ticket to see that film. It's a light-sider global warming propaganda movie. I may see it on HBO when it comes on, provided that I don't have anything more important to do like dust, take out the trash or watch grass grow. The reviews of the film are plentiful. The aliens give spirits genders, great mother bullshit for one. That brings another point. One M5 reader, who saw Avatar, wrote to me that he thinks planetary spirits know only balance and that this is conveyed in the film. This is just not true. When we entered the Galaxy game, most of us chose the sequential path to start with while some chose the nature path. The nature path has no better inclination to balance than does the sequential path. Balance figures into it when we move from sequential to simultaneous path. The nature path must also learn balance to find balance. Any M5 reader who believes that the nature path is a naturally balanced path is clinging to light-sider myths and needs to re-examine his or her perspectives. Rereading M5 may be a good idea.